We need to talk about Diamond Comic Distributors. We've got 3 articles on it. DC's new distributors better than Diamond? Comic store in your future. Diamond Comic Distributors on working with 50% of staff numbers. That's an important one. And a new crazy one, Steve Geppi has been hacked. Don't open that email attachment. We're going to get into all this. Before we do, if you want to support my work, collegeofthedead.com, you can get your copy of College of the Dead Graduation Day. It's the second and ongoing series. You can also get the first one. It's Zombie Apocalypse series. It's Zombies on Campus, where college costs you an arm and a leg. You can also sign up for Epic Mermaids. EpicMermaids.com will get you to the mermaids. Sign up for the launch email. It will be coming out soon. Back to the articles. Okay, DC's new distributors better than Diamond? Comic store in your future. This is coming from Bleeding Cool. It's written by Rich Johnston, but it's still good, even so. People were saying that DC's new vendors for comics would doom the industry. Some people were. Some people were not saying that. I think he was, this Rich Johnston. But now Diamond is having far more problems. Marvel put out variant covers on some of the few titles it released this week, saying, on sale Wednesday. That was like their big funny thing to take a shot at DC for putting new comics out on Tuesdays. Very wacky. Nobody cared. No one there was impressed. Comments such as Marvel actually put out something this week and they wanted to brag. That's it. Why? Yeah, it fell over like a lead balloon, so to speak. Didn't work. Throughout everything, Marvel has been less than helpful. Death Metal #2 outsold Marvel's Empire #1 here. DC putting out product while Marvel plays catch-up hurt them with our customers, because DC kept putting comics out when Marvel had stopped publishing to deal with the big health event. People come in here and ask when they are finally going to be able to buy the Marvel title they've been following, because normally Marvel comics, of course, come out like on a monthly basis, basically, and are often disappointed by the answer. For example, titles such as Savage Avengers last released issue number 11, March 11th. Issue 12 is not due out until September 30th. Is that a big deal in the scheme of things? Yes, actually it is. When you're following the series and you're expecting it to be monthly, and you're kind of like just buying it anyway, but you're not maybe even in love with the damn thing, or even if you are in love with it, an extra 5 or 6 months, a long time to wait. So it's too much of a gap between issues. Look at all those cool statues. Statues are cool. Okay. 2020 Wolverine actually sold due to the fact that people want something featuring Wolverine while waiting for the next issue of his main series. If not for DC, we'd be back in a world of hurt for lack of demand of comics to actually sell. So at least DC gave them comics they could sell. For them, the shipments between Lunar and Diamond are roughly the same number of comics. So Lunar is the other distributor that's come into the industry that's now selling DC comics. Our Diamond shipment this week had 19 comics damaged. Lunar, in the entire time we've been using them, has had no damages or shortages. It's good to know. The naysayers were saying DC's new vendors would be a repeat of Marvel's failed Heroes World vendor adventure, but so far Diamond is much closer to being like Heroes World. Heroes World was when Marvel signed an exclusive with a small distributor and told all shops they had to buy through Heroes World. How is it different? Well, I actually lived through those times, so I'm going to tell you. The main way it's different is Heroes World was a small distributor serving like the tri-state area practically for the most part. It was really small. It was like maybe 5 or 6% of the industry. And Heroes World only sold to like 1,000 or, maybe 1,500 accounts. When they got the exclusive distribution for all of Marvel's comics, thanks to a deal that the financier Ronald Perlman made, where he wanted to control all of his own distribution, they were forced to then service all the comic book stores. And computers existed back then, but they weren't kind of as high tech. Certainly Heroes World didn't have the fancy computers they would have needed to do that properly. And to easily establish accounts. I mean, we had internet back then in like 1995 or whatever, but not even everybody used email. So technology was not there to really support that. And for Heroes World, it was adding like, whatever, 8,000 new accounts on top of 2,000 accounts that they had relationships with. So if you were going to do business with 2,000 companies, it wasn't even 2,000. Let's say they were even doing business with 2,000 companies. It was probably more like 1,000. But you're doing existing business. It's easy to do business with people that you have a regular relationship with. Try to do business with even 2,000 new people on top of 2,000 existing people. It's much more difficult. The communication isn't right. The credit lines aren't established and things like that. But taking on all that massive amount was almost craziness. The reason that Ronald Perlman did that was he wanted to control more of his distribution. He wanted to control pricing. He wanted to control market access. He wanted to control what the retail stores bought. And it actually worked with him with his cosmetics company, Revlon. It works in other industries. It didn't work in this industry because it didn't have the proper operational people to kind of understand and make sure that everything that they needed to do, they actually did. So somebody was like a little bit careless on the execution. It wasn't really at Ron Perlman's level. He's way, way, way above there. But, the guys he had managing Marvel that made that move, they screwed up. The reason why Lunar hasn't had problems, and I'm sure the other company, whichever the other, DCBS's company, Lunar and whatever, Midtown, whatever the other company is. The reason they're not having problems is because they're used to dealing already probably with at least 10,000 direct-to-consumer customers, if not 30,000 or something like that. They are mail order operations. So they're used to collecting a bunch of comics and carefully putting them in boxes and shipping them out internationally. That's what a mail order company does. So when DC decided it was going to go exclusive outside of Diamond, what it was really, and then just hooked up with these two mail order companies that already sold comics direct to consumer, what they were doing was basically just saying goodbye to all the comic book stores and just saying, okay, look, we're going to treat you as if you're a big mail order customer, same as if you're a fan. You own a shop in New Jersey and you want to buy at a discount, hey, that's fine. Here, we're going to just put you through our normal system. That's what they did. That's why it worked, because they already had an infrastructure and a system. So for 10,000, for an operation like Lunar that probably handles, normally 10,000 orders or more in a week through its mail order operation direct to consumer, for them to add on another 1,000 or 2,000 customers of retail stores is a little bit of a big deal. In fact, they only are doing half of them, so it's probably more like 1,000 stores or even 700 stores. They're set up to do that, and the volume is more, but it's not that much more. They're set up for that as opposed to Heroes World. That's my long explanation, but it's important you know. Now you know what I know. When we first started using Lunar, I was still ordering DC products through Diamond as a backup. Lunar was new, and I did not want to have whole titles not ship. Just the opposite happened. Diamond would let me down, and Lunar turned out to be fine. I just found out this week that my sales rep that I've dealt with for years is still with Diamond. This shocked the heck out of me after so many unanswered emails. I received an email telling me to send emails to a generic Diamond email account instead. We've been receiving the emails from Diamond letting us know they're unable to keep up with emails and calls coming in. Okay. Bleeding Cool recently ran this article. That's this article. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You're going to have to just wait a second. Be patient, please. I understand. Okay. That will make things tough. Safety, of course, is essential. I understand this because I've worked on projects after we reopened due to the health event and gotten frustrated because of how long they were taking me. Poor baby. When just one person is doing a project instead of the usual 3 people, it does take longer. Okay, I think we don't really need an explanation on. Of course, people expect the same level of customer service, efficiency, and friendliness a business supplied them even after being forced to shut down. Okay. We've been lucky to be able to sell DC on Tuesdays and gained us new customers. We managed to provide a new service for those that wanted it. It's okay. We've received our shipments of the latest Magic product, Jumpstart. it's half of what we thought we were getting. Oh my God, poor baby. Odds are this means that many stores out there received a lot less than they were hoping for, which is, of course, means Jumpstart will be hard to get, making people want it even more. Okay. Yeah, people will want it even more. That's the collectible business, supply and demand. That said, at least people want it. This weekend, we're going to try and pull off a magic trick of our own and have a sale to replace Free Comic Day. Okay. So, what the hell is going on at Diamond? Well, this is what the hell is going on at Diamond. Diamond laid off a lot of people, and they have not been able to get all of them back. Part of the problem with staffing is it's about to run out, I think in about, I don't know, a couple days or a week, but there's still this massive unemployment payment being made to people on unemployment right now because of the health event, like an extra $600 a week, something just super astronomical. That is not good for people hiring people, because they make more money than if they don't work than if they do. But that said, something does feel a little bit funny about all this. Let's read the article. Diamond Comic Distributors are working with 50% of staff numbers. Diamond Comic Distributors issued an update on how they are working right now. The distributor, still the backbone of most of the direct market of comic book stores, closed in April because of the health event and only recently returned to something close to full distribution and having to implement restrictions regarding social distancing and safety protocols for Diamond staff. To achieve effective social distancing in our distribution centers, we must operate at less than 100% staff, says Chief Logistics Officer Sean Hamrick. Our daily goal is 70% staffing. However, many days we're operating at 50% staff due to our strict self-quarantining policies. Inevitably, staff reductions cause delays in our ability to process our orders on our standard timeline. Diamond states that employees are surveyed before each shift and sent home if it's believed they pose any health risk to the rest of the team. That sounds safe, but how could employees work that way? You're never going to get people to come in for shifts if it's like, all right, yeah, you were just here, what, for lunch? Like, well, you're back from lunch? Go home. No good. And that if an employee shows any kind of symptoms, they must have a negative test result before returning to work, which for Diamond means that skilled team members can be out for several days awaiting test results. Diamond states they've brought in a second employment agency to help with acquiring team members and have also invested in a Spanish language version of the voice picking software to, as they put it, broaden the potential employee base. Okay, so they could have Spanish software. Spanish speaking software is great. Muy bien. Hamrick added, we understand that it's frustrating when there are disruptions in routine, whether that's delayed shipment or a mistake made in picking or packing. That causes additional work for you and us. We're continually working to address any issues quickly while caring for the health and safety of our team members. Diamond also states that with reduced staff and retailer services as well, response wait times have increased. Okay. Why don't you have them working remotely? I mean, those people can work from home, can't they? Anyway, probably not. They state that this is being addressed but will take time to resolve, and that they're constantly looking for ways to improve response time and are focused on quickly hiring and training staff to use our new remote technology. Okay, so they are. I mean, simple remote technology will do like 95% of all this stuff. I know because I do a little bit of it. Diamond is encouraging retailers to use their new support center where they can check out and open unresolved tickets, submit questions, or log issues on a form that gathers the needed information. The system is designed to reduce the time it takes to address concerns, but is it? Let us know how things are going. I'm sure things are not going so hot because they were complaining about them a week later. And most recently, Steve Geppi has been hacked. Don't open that email attachment. If you just got an email from Diamond Comic Distributors owner, president, and CEO Steve Geppi, you may not be as special as you think, because it turns out that pretty much everyone in the comic industry who deals with Diamond just did. Steve Geppi had his email hacked, and everyone he's ever emailed got the message tacking onto an earlier conversation. The message stated that the contract has been updated, please check, and provides a long and convoluted website address and password to retrieve whatever it is. No one really wants to know, and we hope that no one tried to find out. There's always someone or someone who's an assistant who tries to find out. It's especially unfortunate as Diamond Comic Distributor deals with the contrast from stores, from vendors and publishers, and just the people who would want to look at an updated contract from Steve Geppi as soon as possible. Of course, Steve didn't actually send it, and he's already had his IT people checking on it, tracking it to someone in northern Illinois. If those Diamond trucks come into town, you know they're on the hunt. Yeah, Diamond's driving trucks to Illinois. They are not. Of course, the only thing worse than a North Illinois hacker is emailing you pretending to be Steve Geppi and trying to worm their way into all your details and accounts is not getting the email at all. I mean, how can you show yourself at the next Zoom meeting and have to confess that, no, actually the hacker didn't bother to send you the email? How will you ever be able to hold your head up high again? Did anyone get caught out? So what's exactly the hacker trying to get you to do? That is a funny email. Good job, Rich Johnson. Good article. I enjoyed this one the best. I hope I don't like hacking, but I thought that was pretty funny. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me comments below on all these Diamond stories. What do you think this means for Diamond? What do you think this means for the comic book store industry? Not the comic industry, just the comic book store industry. That's all they're really focused on. That's all they can really affect. They can't touch crowdfunding. If you want to support my work, again, collegeofthedead.com. It's my zombie apocalypse series. It's great. It's already done. And it's shipping out to you as soon as you're ready for it. And also sign up at epicmermaids.com for The Mermaids. It's like Game of Thrones with mermaids. Full color. Really well done. Coming soon. I will see you again with another video. And if I don't see you, I hope you know I'll miss you.